will be celebrating Founders Day, a day that holds great significance for our nation. As we reflect on our journey as a people, it is imperative that we acknowledge the events of August 4th, which have indelibly shaped our history and our identity. On that day, 127 years ago, in 1897, during the heyday of British colonialism, the Aborigines Rights Protection Society, ARPS, was formed at Cape Coast. This monumental event marked the beginning of a conscious and organized effort to preserve the rights of indigenous Ghanaians against the depredations of colonialism. The Aborigines Rights Protection Society laid the basis for the political awakening of our people, advocating for land rights and pushing back against the oppressive policies of the British colonial administration. Their courage and vision set the stage for future movements that will strive for greater autonomy and self-determination. The formation of the Aborigines Rights Protection Society was both a reaction to the immediate threats posed by colonialism and a proactive effort to ensure that the rights and dignity of our people were safeguarded. The Society's enlightened leaders, Jacob Say, Joseph Casely Hayford, John Mensah Saba, Kwabena Sechi, J.W. de Graaf Johnson, and J.P. Brown, amongst others, understood that the land was not merely a resource, but also the very essence of our identity and culture. They organized petitions, held meetings, and mobilized communities to resist the arbitrary appropriation of land by the greedy hands of British colonialism under the 1897 Crown Lands Bill, which led to its withdrawal. Unlike in the case of our brothers and sisters in Eastern and Southern Africa, whose deprivations continue till today, we never lost control of our lands because of the intervention of the Society. Their work was proof of the power of unity and collective action in the face of adversity. Fast forward to August the 4th, 1947, exactly 50 years later, another seminal event took place. The formation of the United Gold Coast Convention, UGCC, the convention at Salt Pond. This organization, spearheaded by illustrious forebears, marked a turning point in our quest for independence. The UGCC brought together a coalition of leaders who shared a common vision of a free and prosperous Ghana. Their efforts culminated in the eventual birth of our nation as an independent state. The UGCC, the first nationalist organization to articulate clearly the demand for freedom and independence, was born out of a deep-seated desire for self-governance and an end to colonial rule. The leaders of the UGCC, the convention, George Parr Grant, Dr. J.B. Dankwa, R.S. Blay, Emmanuel Obeche-Bilamte, William Ufuriata, Edward Akufo-Addo, Ebenezer Akwaje, Kwabena Kese, Kwame Nkrumah, and others, recognized that true freedom could only be achieved through political action and the mobilization of the masses. They worked tirelessly to educate and inspire the people, organizing rallies and meetings to raise awareness about the need for independence. Their message resonated with Ghanaians from all walks of life, sparking a movement that would eventually lead to the liberation of our nation, encompassing the birth of the Convention People's Party, CPP, which led us on the final lap of our journey to freedom. Tomorrow, as we commemorate these historical milestones, we pay tribute to successive generations of Ghanaians who contributed to the attainment of our national independence. It is most appropriate that we have chosen this date to honor their sacrifices, their resilience, and their strong dedication to the ideals of freedom and justice. I speak to you this evening, rejecting completely the notion that Ghana was founded by one man. Whilst Kwame Nkrumah's contributions to our independence are undeniable and unassailable, it is important to acknowledge for our self-respect that the struggle for our nation's freedom was a collective effort spanning several generations. The formation of the Aborigines Rights Protection Society, the British West African National Congress, jointly sponsored by Joseph Casely Hayford and Thomas Hatton Mills, the United Gold Coast Convention, the work of countless unsung heroes, and the tenacious spirit of our people all played vital parts in bringing us to freedom and independence. Kwame Nkrumah, with his charismatic visionary leadership, was undoubtedly a major actor in the final lap of our journey to independence. And that is why, despite the several unfortunate things that happened after independence under his watch, Parliament in 2019 decided to memorialize his date of birth as Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Day, the only Ghanaian so far to be so honored in our history. His ability to galvanize the masses and articulate a clear vision for a free Ghana inspired many. However, it is essential to recognize that Kwame Nkrumah stood on the shoulders of past leaders. The groundwork laid by the Aborigines Rights Protection Society, the British West African National Congress, the United Gold Coast Convention, and many other organizations and individuals provided the foundation upon which Kwame Nkrumah built the Convention People's Party, CPP. And indeed, that is why he was careful to associate the name of his new party with that of the convention. The contributions of the leaders before him were instrumental, as is natural in the continuum of history, in shaping the political landscape that facilitated Kwame Nkrumah's rise to prominence. Even though comparisons may be invidious, it is worth recalling that George Washington, the victorious general of America's War of Independence from British colonial rule, and the first president of the United States of America, is not described as the founder of the United States. The accolade of the founding fathers is reserved to the group of 56 persons who assembled at the Philadelphia Convention of the Continental Congress to write and promulgate the Constitution of the United States of America. August 4th is a day that should remind us of the values that have guided us through the years: respect for the rule of law, observance of human rights, including individual freedom, and the pursuit of a free democratic society. These values are a reflection of the vision of those who founded the Ghanaian nation and have been crucial in shaping our national character. The sacrifices of our forebears have given us the open society we enjoy today. We are a democratic nation, governed on the basis of the separation of powers by the rule of law and respect for human rights. The Fourth Republic has proven to be the most enduring because it is the republic, above all, that arguably has given the fullest expression to the aspirations of the men and women who gathered in Salt Pond on that faithful day in 1947. In recent times, After the predictable initial turbulent decades of our post-independence checkered history, we've witnessed great changes in Ghana. Our economy has grown, our infrastructure has improved, and our society has become more inclusive. We've made impressive strides in governance, education, healthcare, and technology, and we continue to build on the foundation laid by those who came before us. The economic growth we have experienced, despite challenging moments, is a testament to the resilience and entrepreneurial spirit of the Ghanaian people. The difficult economic conditions notwithstanding, which we are rapidly leaving behind, our social services are functioning, our businesses are thriving, our industries are expanding, our agriculture is performing strongly, and our global trade relationships are strengthening. This progress is the result of hard work, innovation, and the policies that have created a conducive environment for economic development. As we celebrate Founders Day, let us recognize the importance of maintaining this momentum and continuing to create opportunities for all Ghanaians. Our infrastructure has seen remarkable improvements, from roads, bridges, railways, to schools and hospitals. We've made considerable investments in building a modern and efficient infrastructure network. These developments have not only improved the quality of life of our citizens, but have also positioned Ghana as a hub for trade and investment in the region. As we move forward, let us continue to prioritize infrastructure development to ensure that every Ghanaian has access to the resources and opportunities he or she needs to succeed. Inclusivity is another area where we have made substantial progress. Our society is becoming more inclusive, with greater representation and participation from women, youth, and marginalized communities. We have implemented policies and initiatives to promote gender equality, like the recently enacted Affirmative Action Bill, empower our youth, and protect the rights of all citizens. This inclusivity is a reflection of the values of our founders and is essential for building a just and equitable society. However, we must also recognize that our journey is far from over. As we celebrate our past, we must also look to the future with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. We must continue to work towards building a Ghana that is equitable, free, just, and prosperous for all her citizens. Our founders envisaged a nation where every Ghanaian would have the opportunity to thrive, regardless of his or her background or circumstances. It is our duty to carry forward this vision, to build on their legacy, and to create a brighter future for ourselves and for generations to come. To achieve this, we must, in my respectful view, focus on 7 key areas. Firstly, we should continue to invest in education. Education is the cornerstone of development and the key to unlocking the potential of our people. We should ensure that every Ghanaian child has access to quality education from early childhood through to higher education. This means building more schools and universities, improving infrastructure, and investing in teacher training, curriculum development, and technology integration. One of the cornerstone initiatives of my administration has been the implementation of the free senior high school policy, launched in September 2017. This policy has enabled some 5.7 million students to access secondary education and is also emphasizing the study of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM subjects. The quality of education has improved, evident in the 2023 UGCC results being the best in the history of the examination. The considerable budgetary allocations on education within the period, totaling some 12.488 billion cedis, amply illustrate the sheer determination of the Akufo-Addo government to ensure that education becomes a catalyst around which the transformation of the nation revolves. Secondly, we should prioritize healthcare. A thriving nation relies on the well-being of its people. We should continue to invest in healthcare infrastructure, expand access to quality healthcare services, and promote preventative care. This includes addressing issues such as maternal and child health, infectious diseases, and non-communicable diseases. Indeed, my administration since 2017 has made remarkable strides in healthcare delivery, investing heavily in infrastructure and completing numerous regional and district hospitals. The ambitious Agenda 111 initiative aims to construct 111 district hospitals and regional facilities at an estimated cost of $1.75 billion United States dollars. Ongoing projects at various levels of completion have been initiated. Substantial financial investments in the health sector to the tune of some 33 billion cedis and the recruitments of some 202,000 medical personnel have been made in 7.5 years. The National Health Insurance Scheme's active membership has since 2016 increased by 69%, and renewing membership is now much easier via mobile telephony. We have also assimilated one of the great lessons of the COVID-19 pandemic, and that is the necessity to be self-reliant in the production of vaccines, which has led to the establishment of the National Vaccine Institute to lead the process for the domestic production of vaccines. Thirdly, we should continue to pay attention to agriculture. Agriculture remains the backbone of our economy and a vital source of livelihood for millions of Ghanaians. By focusing on agricultural development, we can achieve food security, create jobs, and drive economic growth. The success of the Program for Planting for Food and Jobs, Phases 1 and 2, has demonstrated the immense potential of this sector. These initiatives have increased substantially food production and have also provided employment opportunities for thousands of our youth. By continuing to invest in agriculture, we can build a sustainable and resilient economy that benefits all Ghanaians. Fourthly, we should continue to advance economic development and job creation. This means supporting our entrepreneurs, large, medium, or small scale, fostering innovation, and creating an environment that encourages investment. We should also focus on diversifying our economy, reducing our reliance on a few key industries, and stimulating sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, tourism, and the digital economy. We've taken an economy whose GDP was estimated in 2013 at 64 billion United States dollars, but had contracted to 56 billion United States dollars by 2016, to one which is estimated currently at 76 billion United States dollars, an expansion of 20 billion United States dollars. That is a 36% increase over the 7.5 years of my administration. Fifthly, We should intensify the process of building strong professional security services that will not only continue to guarantee law and order and the stability of the nation, but will also help guard the nation against external threats, especially during these troubled times when the terrorist insurgency that has already engulfed the Sahelian area of our region is threatening to engulf the rest of West Africa, including the coastal states too. Sixthly, we should continue to strengthen our democratic institutions and uphold the rule of law. Our democracy is our greatest strength, and we must work to ensure that it remains robust and resilient. This means protecting the independence of the judiciary, encouraging transparency and accountability in public life, and safeguarding the rights and freedoms of all citizens, including their right to criticize the measures of the government of the day, even when, on virtually all occasions, the allegations of current misconduct are entirely baseless and groundless. Lastly, we should continue to advocate national unity and social cohesion. Our diversity is one of our greatest assets, and we should work to ensure that every Ghanaian feels included and valued. This means stressing dialogue and understanding, addressing issues of inequality and discrimination, and instilling a sense of national pride and identity. It is through such actions that we strengthen the unity of our nation. As we approach the upcoming elections in December, let me assure you of my government's firm determination of ensuring that they are free, fair, credible, and transparent. It is the will of the Ghanaian people, freely expressed, and not the will of any candidate or political party, however desperate for power, that will prevail. The integrity of our electoral process is paramount, and we will take all necessary steps to secure it. The law against vigilantism will be strictly applied without fear or favor, ensuring that peace and order are maintained throughout the electoral period, enabling the Ghanaian people to make their choice free of intimidation and violence. Ghana's standing as a beacon of democracy in Africa will be sustained and will continue to set an example for other nations to follow. Fellow Ghanaians, as we celebrate Founders Day, let us remember the lessons of our history. Let us honor the courage and sacrifices of those who came before us. Let us continue to revere those who fought for our freedom and for our democracy. And let us recommit ourselves to the ideals of freedom, justice, and democracy. In the spirit of our founders, let us strive to build a Ghana that is free, prosperous, and united. A Ghana where every citizen can enjoy freely the fruits of his or her labor and contribute to the progress of the nation. Happy Founders Day, and may God bless us all in our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong. I thank you for your attention.